Hi, welcome to my podcast, Soliloquest. I wanted to talk about a couple of things right off the bat. I think it's been a lot of support coming in from all of you that has encouraged me to keep going on, and especially with the vocab news section of my channel, where I try to learn new words and use them in context of current or trending news. And it's a long process, it's a long journey, and I can see that a lot of people are able to connect with that, and because of which I have managed to gather precious 50 subscribers and about 10,000 views on my videos the last 28 days to 30 days. And that is very encouraging. In fact, to be honest, I began last year, I think, towards the second half. And of course, I mean, when you put out a video and put yourself out there, not necessarily you would be able to connect at the very outset, and it takes time. But I got a bit swayed away, and then people, everybody has their own journey. So the last 2 months have been particularly encouraging with the response coming in, and this is for the first time that I've felt that. I mean, instead of feeling, that instead of gloating in it and feeling great about it, for once there's a sense of, uh, if I may use the word, at some luxury and liberty, duty. I don't know, obligation to be able to continue with this despite other commitments and because this is not earning me anything. I'm not making money out of this right now. So this is out of my um, this is basically putting extra time in it and trying to enjoy this process, connecting with people. Hopefully, I mean, I'm still learning the ropes, and not that I've been able to engage more. You know what I mean? So, but I can't complain. I'm enjoying it, and for the first, I'm feeling encouraged by the response coming in. 10,000 views on anything that I've done is very very encouraging, very reassuring, and and if that's the case, I got to go and keep doing this a little more seriously, I think, than I was. Uh, well, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to, in a way, thank anyone and everyone who's been connecting, who's found those videos useful. Uh, I am trying to learn this language. For the lack of, actually, what's happening is, because we don't end up using these words as frequently in today's times, especially, our vocabularies are sinking by the day. We don't use, and language is basically usage. If you don't use it, you tend to forget, because of which we're not empowered with words at the right time, the right words at the right time. And when that happens, we end up using, and I, for once, for sure, I know I end up using very vague words. In fact, it might be happening right now, for all you know. It somehow just pinches me at the back of my mind all the time that why did I not work on my language enough? Because it's the only tool that we have, and we should work very seriously towards to be able to connect to people. It so often happens that we end up saying the wrong thing, or the wrong word, or the wrong tone, wrong or incorrect pitch, and all which all form a part of communication skill, that we end up in difficult spots. We end up creating friction between ourselves, and I think most of the things can be resolved if we work good at language, expressing it, articulating it, articulating our viewpoints, our opinions, our real thoughts. And I've seen this, observed this in my own self, that in the absence of being able to do that effectively, there is an inherent tendency to resort to a shortcut. The mind is a trickster. It resorts to shortcuts in a jiffy. And most of those shortcuts are an attempt. I mean, it might it might look like it's preemptive, but it's not. An attempt to cover up one's own insecurity. Most of the time, it comes in form of one emotion or the other. Very likely emotion is anger or frustration or disregard of other person's opinions and thoughts. And I think most of us are suffering from that. In my analysis, the root cause is the command of language. If I'm, as they say, as the people, if you read the works of the people, let's say pre 1900s, I mean 18th, 20th century, uh, I think, I mean, I'm talking about 19th century, but yeah, pre 20th. I think they were so comfortable with their communication skill that they did not need to worry about, um, losing temper. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm being able to articulate it correctly. Uh, but that's what I feel. They were. They had all the time. Firstly, the time is the issue. We want to do everything in our age today, which is not possible, and which it really plays with our minds. I mean, I don't think we're realizing that. On top of that, since we do not really sit and go in depth of things, language is key, is a case in point here. We end up being superficial, and that's the root cause of most of the problems. And there's no deep thinking, there's no deep writing happening. It's all superficial. Everybody just um, being driven by this space. I mean, I'm not going into that. That is it a fault of ours and all that, but that's our times. So here is my uh, candle in the wind, or faint effort, or something, a small contribution to be able to uh, continue with this legacy of this lovely language. I think uh, I'm not going to go into the debate of which language is superior or the other. Every language is lovely. Humans have created it. There's a lot of effort that has gone into creating the structure, the grammar, the vocabulary of it to be able to communicate. The whole point is to communicate. If you're able to do it with music, well and good. If you're able to do it using a pet bird that can sing, messages out, excellent. The key point is messaging. The key point is being able to convey the message and receive it. More importantly than sending it, I would say, is being able to receive it correctly. I've seen it's so easy to see that we lack in that skill, particularly just go to the comment section of the best of the videos. It's a random crap. It's, it's so much of the usage of words which mean nothing, that you could just take a 30,000 view on it and you'd realize in a quick second that it is because of something else that the person is trying to compensate. And once you realize that, the second part of that is to, instead of going and telling that person what to do, because nobody's going to listen to you, because you're not going to listen to anybody else, is hence it's the only thing left, or the second part left, is to be sitting down with your own self and working on it. That's it. That's it. That's the whole, be and all of it. Because, well, you know, it, you would only contribute to the noise. I mean, when it's already noisy, it's already a consternation out there. You would only add to the din. You would only add to the senselessness and cacophony of it, not making any legible sense out of it. Nothing coherent. Nobody's going to listen. It's just going to add to the noise. Well, so if something helps you, go ahead, go about it. For me, what works is just talking out somewhere. Like I could possibly just be sitting without this camera in my car, and I used to. I mean, I just sit by at times in my own room and just talk uh, purposefully. I mean, I'm not rambling about into thin air for nothing. I sometimes record myself anyway. I used to do that, and I've been doing that for as long as I had a phone. It's only in the later years I realized that wow, I what I was trying to manage with the back camera, well, it actually developed into a front camera as well, and we all went bonkers with the whole selfie trend. Anyway, but I used to do that, and I just realized that helps me because then I would watch myself. And here's the beauty of what earlier people used to write. I mean, early people used to do. I mean, they would write diaries, they would write a journal, they would write a log at the end of the day. And that has taken a shape and form of writing a Word document now, or even in current days, that has transformed into videos. It's very easy, it's quicker, and I'm just waiting for these AI tools to be good enough to take accented dictations, because right now my accent is different. I'm trying to work on it. My vocabulary is not that great. My grammar is not that great. So I mean, for no fault of the AI tool, but for the gap there is between what's proper and between what I speak, I'm just hoping and waiting that the AI tools, audio dictations would be awesome in some more time, and I would need nothing of this, and I could just talk into it. It could transcribe it for me, and I could do various things just to get good at it. Now, somebody might ask, for what? What is the end purpose? I mean, there's no to that. I would say, what purpose does it serve any which way to do any which way anything? I don't know. I'm not that enlightened to answer that, but this is my pursuit. This is my quest, as the name suggests, Solly Log Quest. I've read a couple of quotes, made a lot of sense to me from 1800s, 1700s, 1900s. People wrote very meaningful things for me that probably connect with me at certain level. Uh, It kind of pushes my ability to be able to read and make sense and improve my comprehension so that I can effectively use it someday, someplace, I don't know, in some situation. If that answers the purpose question, then so be it. Otherwise, I'm still kind of figuring it out all out. But it is very uh, not really. I'm trying to struggle for a word, but it is quite a self check on yourself. I mean, quite a check on yourself to be able to watch yourself or what you've written. Let's say 10 days back. On the 11th day from that day, you are a different person in some sense because when you write what you wrote a couple of days back, you look at it from a very different perspective and viewpoint and in a different light altogether. Try that out. Try out writing one page at the end of every day for what you thought on any event that has happened during that day. And then only a couple of days later, let's say 10th or 11th day, go back and read for the first time what you wrote on the first day. It should it should answer a couple of questions for you in your own mind. Anyway, with that, all right, I can't think of anything else right now except thanking you all. And I would try and keep up with this particular content. Anything you have in mind, anything you want to share or suggest, please feel free. Let's start connecting, I would say. And I would try and develop more content which is more interactive. Hopefully, 50 subscribers should make a couple of changes to my accessibility to the resources on YouTube. Please keep sharing, liking, and subscribing as that would help grow not only this community, this channel, but also your community, whereby you can share those words, those ideas, those new snippets, the usage, and it kind of just picks up and it becomes a habit. That's how I try and learn. Make it a point to use the word during the conversations, during the day. It really, really makes a difference to your vocabulary, your language. The rest of it you tend to forget, then it just keeps getting piled up. Uh, Sometimes, even at the risk of showing off your words and vocabulary, it's about you, not about the other person and their judgment of you. And that's all I would say. So please keep doing that. The rest of the content, something like my travel, my books, and binge watching shows and all that, I'll keep sharing that anyway. Uh, so with that, I guess thank you so much, and see you again. Until next time, have a good one.